What is up, guys, and welcome to my very first F1 2018 official gameplay video. Today we're going to be going through the depths of career mode and doing the first race in Melbourne. Just be aware this is not my official career mode. That'll be kicking off closer to when the game comes out, maybe in about 2 weeks' time. We'll have to wait and see. But this is essentially a preview career mode. This is a preview build of the game. It's about 2 months old, I would say. So we're just going to go through and give you guys an insight as to what your career mode experience may look like. So we're just going to go through. Just bear in mind that this was filmed on a laptop, gaming laptop. So there were a few kind of little niggly issues, like the frame rate when I was driving was kind of all over the place. And I think there was a little bit of input lag. So just be aware that the driving on this one was, is not optimal. So just be aware of that. But I was at home. It was in my home setup. It was like a makeshift mini capture session at my own house, which was pretty cool. I never thought something like that would happen. So huge thank you to Bandai Namco for coming out and giving me the access to provide this footage for you guys as well. So yeah, with that said, let's get into it. And dive into the career mode. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel to see the actual career mode and further F1 2018 gameplay videos that are coming out in the future. Make sure you smash the like button on this video as well. I reckon if we hit 5,000 likes on this video, I'll do a giveaway for F1 2018. Maybe in the next video, we'll have to wait and see. So if we can do that, then a giveaway will happen. In terms of the career mode choice, we're going to go with Renault and kind of simulate our fellow compatriot, Daniel Ricciardo.
Thanks for coming by. I'm sure you're very anxious to get out on track. It's taken a lot of effort to get to F1. Congratulations. But the real work starts now. This is
Claire, motorsports journalist. Nice to meet you. You'll be seeing quite a lot of me throughout the season. So, you had a pretty impressive junior career. How are you feeling about your move into F1? Do you think you have what it takes?
Let's save the questions for a proper interview, shall we? I'm sure you'll have a lot more to talk about once there's been some action on track. I think we could fit you in after FP1 if you're free.
That works for me. I'll grab you the second you finish on the track.
Remember, the relationship you have with the team can be affected by what you say to the media. So be careful. Anyway, it's time to catch up with Carl. He's waiting for you in the data center. Good luck out there today.
Welcome to the data center. Here, we've got access to all kinds of information, including car telemetry, weather, lap times, tyre wear, the list goes on. Plus, we've got a direct link back to the factory, so we're in constant communication with the team there. We need you to regularly feedback about areas of the car that are lacking and help us direct our resources in the most productive way. More effort here equals a quicker car, so it's well worth the effort. Good luck this season. Oh, and make us all look good, okay?
Oh yeah, mate. I'll try and give it a go, eh? What a lovely Australian accent that is.
Welcome to your new team. Renault are a championship-winning outfit, and they've been methodically working to get back to those winning ways. Raw talent isn't enough here. This is a team that values someone who can dedicate themselves completely to achieving their goals.
That's pretty cool. There's almost that weight of expectation already, and it's not even a front-running team. That's crazy.
Here you can see the pertinent details about your current contract. On one side are the objectives and bonuses that we've negotiated with the team. On the other is information regarding how you're perceived throughout the paddock, your reputation with the current team, and your overall value to them, which is a combination of these elements.
So right here you can see the details of the driver profile. Some pretty good stuff there. They've just expanded upon everything that they've built upon over the last 2 years of career mode. Now you've got kind of short-term goals. If you beat those, you'll get a bonus in resource points, which is really, really awesome. I feel like they've really stepped up the immersion factor for 2018. They've really honed in on those smaller details that'll add to the greater experience in career mode. But we're going to go for our first practice session now. We're going to have a look at some of the practice programs. We're going to get a feel for the car, how it handles, maybe suss out what we need to do upgrade-wise, and yeah, we'll have a look at some of the new practice programs, like I said. So let's go out there, go on track, see how it handles, and hopefully we're on the pace.
Welcome to Melbourne, where the practice session is about to start for this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. The pre-race talking is over. Now it's time for the drivers to show their worth.
Alright, so here we are in the garage for the first time in career mode, ready to go out for practice 1. You still have all of the old practice programs from previous years: track acclimatization, tyre management, fuel management, ERS management, qualifying pace, race strategy, and of course the passive objectives that you can do over the course of the weekend. So we're going out now, we're going to do ERS management because this is a new one that has been introduced this year with a new feature of battery deployment. So essentially what this looks like is you've got to beat the target lap time while at the same time not using up too much of your battery. So essentially giving you an insight into what it's going to be like to manage your battery over the course of a racing lap. So at the moment you can see I'm struggling quite a lot. I've got the difficulty very, very high. I think it's like at 105, 106. And yeah, this was my very first lap on the game that day. And like I said, I was really struggling with the frame rate. Although it doesn't look bad in the video, it won't look that bad. But when I was driving, it was up and down, and I think the biggest thing for me was actually the input lag, which was a little bit difficult to come to terms with. But as I got more experience this recording session, I got faster and faster, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Across the line, it was too slow. We fell short by a couple of seconds there. So not the greatest start to the career mode, but you see how it works.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. It's been a lot of hard work, but here you are making your debut in Formula 1. You must be thrilled.
Yeah, pretty happy to be in F1. There's not many people get to do that. This is the time-pressured interviews, and yeah, you don't have much time to answer.
So how are you finding things at the team? Are you settling in?
Oh, geez, I've only had 5 minutes in the car. Give me a chance. Yeah, everything depends on how you answer these questions, is how you'll be perceived within the sport. So, yeah, make sure you answer wisely.
What are you expecting out of this season? Are you just aiming to find your feet in Formula 1, or do you see something more?
Let's go for the cocky answer. Why not? Increase that showmanship. Because why not?
Appreciate your time.
Cheers. Yeah, so that's a brief little look at the time-pressured interviews. Depending on how you answer, you will affect the way that other teams view you. You can motivate certain departments in R&D, and there's actually a lot of weight to those interviews. So make sure you think about your answers before you put them in.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly.
But just like that, we are off for qualifying now. I've edited this video very, very quickly, so I can't explain a lot of the details, but I'll do a running commentary. Don't worry, this is only a brief little introduction. We'll dive into it a little bit deeper and a little bit more carefully, I'd suppose, when we actually do our proper career mode. As for the team, I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing Sauber. If not, it's going to be Williams. But yeah, pretty certain it's going to be Sauber. So we'll wait and see how that goes. But one-shot qualifying, I only had 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours to actually get all this gameplay recorded for you guys. So the races are only 25%. We're doing one-shot qualifying. I had to race through the weekend quite a bit just to get a bit of content for you guys, because believe it or not, 2 hours goes very, very quickly, especially when you're trying to get all the details, go through the whole weekend, deal with all the cutscenes and everything. So yeah, like I said, when we do the actual career mode, 50% races, full qualifying, full practice, everything, the whole shebang, and it should be pretty darn awesome. Speaking of awesome, this one is far from it. This is going to be last place on the grid.
Okay, that's pretty disappointing, but we can turn it around tomorrow.
So yeah, last place on the grid. Really struggled to get a lap in there. You know, there's a lot of time to find, of course, but even in saying that, that was a terrible lap, and we were only 0.6 away from beating the Williams. So in the end, we're not too bad, but I think in the race we'll be better.
Bad luck in qualifying. That's not exactly ideal. But there's no points for Saturday. Keep a cool head and make up for it in the race.
New drivers, new cars, and a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that hosts the first round of a 21-race championship, taking us from here in Melbourne, Australia, across the globe before we eventually reach the season finale at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year with the addition of new safety features, the return of France and Germany in an expanded 21-race calendar, and more tyre compounds than ever before. And of course, we have some big car manufacturers back in the sport too, with Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin returning as title sponsors for Sauber and Red Bull respectively. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2018 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here. I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 4th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season, it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the relative performance of McLaren and Toro Rosso, who have exchanged power unit suppliers this year. And given the additional restrictions on engine components, they need to be strong in terms of both performance and reliability.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion, edging out Raikkonen, who'll start P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo.
Not the best place to be at the start of a new season, so let's make sure we show the team what we can do.
Okay, let's make sure that we do that. Welcome, guys, to the grid of the Australian Grand Prix. Renault have high hopes. There is, like I said, there's a weight of expectation, even for an upper midfield team. They want results and they want them quickly, so we better make sure that we deliver. So here we go for the first race of this career mode mini-series. 5 red lights. And away we go from last place on the grid. The only way forward is forward. Benjamin Daly, 2018, quoted. Anyway, heading into turn 1, let's see if we can make up a couple of positions. Let's see what the AAI's racecraft is like. Turn 1, no real opportunities there. Tried to show my nose in there up the inside of Sorokin, couldn't quite find a way past. Burning up a lot of battery. We got the inside of many cars there into turn 3. Side-to-side contact with Charles Leclerc there. But it is a net gain of 5 places. So even on this game, to be fair, the AI are not on the hardest difficulty in this video. There's contact. There's a McLaren of Van Dorn spinning out Sergio Perez there in the first sector. So already the AI are getting stuck into each other. It didn't take too long for the mistakes of the AI to creep through. That's a mistake from Gasly locking up his inside front tyre and opens the door for us. We're going to go around the outside here. On this back straight, leading into the fast turns 11 and 12, being shoved into the wall, no less, by Pierre Gasly. What are the AI playing at today?
Be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage.
That is crazy. Although we gained a lot of places off of turn 3, the AI have been very erratic. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. That's actually quite cool to see that they make mistakes. They potentially shove you into barriers or don't give you much racing room sometimes. That's a bit of aggression we haven't previously seen. But yeah, like I said, to be fair, they were at 106 or something AI level, so they could potentially be more aggressive. They could be faster on the opening lap, and that's what I'm hoping for when it comes to the full game. Like I said, this is not the full game. This is an earlier build. But we're holding on. We do have some front wing damage after the contact we made with Pierre Gasly. So I decided to roll with the punches to just press on and see what it was like with a little bit of damage on the car. I think it's green or yellow. And I thought I would actually test out the AI as well and see with a slower car with damage whether I'd actually get overtaken by the AI, because that's the biggest thing that I want to find out, is how racy they are. So we'll have to wait and see. This is Hartley diving up my inside into the middle sector. Bear in mind, I did pause the game just before that overtake. I broke a little bit earlier than what I normally did, but Hartley went for the move anyway, which was very, very impressive. Bit of contact there into turn 9 or 10, I think it is. And we get the position back. That is one of the McLarens out of the race. I think that's Van Dorn, who previously had issues with one of the Force Indias. Strict corner cutting rules, as you can see there, so can't cut the corners all too much. But now we cut on to lap 4. This is Hartley again up the inside, having another look. Really feeling quite slow in this race. Whether it be, yeah, the damage that is costing me in the corners, but also the battery now is starting to come into effect. I've had to use up a lot of my battery to maintain this track position, and now you can see I'm feeling the effects of a battery that is near enough to depleted. So we're going to have to harvest a bit more energy and not deploy so much, and that's going to make it slower on the straight here. So you'll see a direct comparison of us versus Hartley, Renault versus Honda, and for the AI, he just absolutely smashed past us. So overtaking for the AI, at least when you're feeling a little bit vulnerable, seems like it's not really an issue on this game. Let's see if we can dive him back up the inside. Late under brakes, there's a bit of contact. And we're actually going to rewind that, because I did not intend to do that. And as well, it's only pretty much an exhibition race. It's only the career mode preview. When we get the full game, like I said, we'll be driving much better. We'll be 1-to-1 with the game again. And yeah, it's fun to show the mistakes every so often when they do happen. But we're diving into the pits now. I think we're going to change the front wing as well. I have set that to yes. We're going to save a bit of our battery as well into the pit lane. I'm not too sure how much of an effect that's going to have, because you actually harvest your battery. You save up your battery power by pressing the brakes. You don't really do that in the pit lane too much, but the bar is it has creeped up a little bit, but not very much at all. So slow pit stop there, 9.1 seconds. We're going to fall down the order quite a bit here, but the additional pace of the fully complete front wing should mean we move back through the field pretty easily. So as we rejoin on the circuit, we're just going to get out in front of Sergio Perez, who had an incident earlier on in the race with one of the McLarens. We get past him, and he's actually going to be pretty quick in this race, given that Brendan Hartley, in the Toro Rosso of all cars, was giving us grief. That Force India is surely going to be putting us under pressure at some point in this race. But we carry on with the race. A few more people stopped. Sorokin was one of the last people around us to stop. He's got fresher tyres than us on the super soft tyres, so it may be difficult to overtake, but in saying that, it is a Williams, and it is a dog-awful car this year. So hopefully, for our sake, we can get past this guy. Rich Revs, hot lap. ERS deployment is active, up the inside, into turn 1. Job done. So we can overtake us ourselves as well. It's all going to depend on as well. Oh my goodness, Sorokin is going to re-overtake us maybe? Heading into turn 3. It seems that slipstream is really powerful, or I'm running with a downforce level that's too high. That's unlikely as well, because I'm running with like 4.7 wings, which is interesting. It certainly seems like the AI are not afraid to run with you on the straights. It looks like overtaking is quite difficult. Took almost everything to get past Sorokin there in a Williams, no less. But anyway, we're cutting on to later on the Grand Prix. There's yellow flag out. Valtteri Bottas has had a mistake of some kind, or he got pushed wide, we're not too sure. That's a free position for us. And next up is Charles Leclerc in the Sauber. So this could potentially be us forming a bit of a train in our career mode. We don't know, but we saw past him with a bit of ease, maybe too much ease, into turn 3, overshot the mark there, and that was, yeah, curtains for that overtake. So yeah, there was a little bit of input delay, which meant that when I would really push the boundaries, when I would push the limits of the car, you'd see these mistakes happen where I spun out one of the other drivers, and sometimes where I cut corners, just those extra little refinements of the steering, and just that extra bit of precision that you need. I just didn't quite have that in this video, so that's why things are a little bit off. But we got the inside of Charles Leclerc once again. It was only inevitable that we get him back, and that is us into P13. Next up is Brendan Hartley. We gave up 5 seconds to that guy when we made that front wing change, and it's awesome to see. We're actually going to make up that time once again. Another incident, this time Gasly and Ocon getting together. I know that those guys don't like each other too much in real life. Seems to be the case in the game as well. We get up the inside of Gasly, who makes a huge mistake into turn 3. So from this video alone, whether it be that maybe the AI are a little bit incomplete, or maybe the AI are just prone to mistakes now. They're a lot more human. Either way, it'll be interesting to see whether that is still the case in the full version of the game. But it's certainly not boring. The AI are less predictable now, which is something that is definitely going to spice up the racing in career mode, shall we say. But that's the race. 11th place. A pretty good comeback in the end there from last place. Only just missed out on a point.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A great win then for the Maranello team today. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here come our winning drivers then, out onto the podium at the end of a thrilling Grand Prix. The drama and excitement are over, and it's time to let it all sink in. Congratulations to our top 3 today.
So there it is then, your top 3 for the Australian Grand Prix. Podium sequences just look that much more refined now, even though I actually turned the graphics down to make the frame rate a little bit more friendly. But yeah, looks pretty sweet this year.
Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I have to give it to Croft. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
Yes, Croft. What a driver. What a young prospect we have in Formula 1. Guys, that has been this first video of career mode on F1 2018. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. There are some small issues like here or there, but yeah, when it comes to actually getting into my career mode, you won't see any of those issues. Fingers crossed. But that's it. We're going to go off now for an interview with Claire, and she's going to debrief with me how my first race went. So, hopefully she's friendly.
Well, things didn't really go your way today. Tell us what happened.
You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
No, I wouldn't say lacking grip. Like I said earlier, I think I was just lacking precision.
Appreciate your time.
Cool. So that's an area where you can influence your, departments in research and development to either increase development, or maybe even sometimes you could demotivate them sometimes, depending on your answers. And that was an area where we could choose actually which area we wanted to be motivated more. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But that is the first episode of F1 2018 Career Mode. We have the next episode at Bahrain, so that'll come out over the course of the weekend. Right here you can see reputation with all of the teams was not good. We didn't meet our expectations there, and we actually fall further backwards towards the rookie standing, having not met that objective. So after the first race, I had the chance to do some invitational events. I didn't want to do those. Here you've got your emails. Got a couple from Carl here, who is our R&D guy. I've been hoping to congratulate you on hitting your targets so far for the last race of the season, but I guess that's out the window. It's disappointing that we head into the break on a poor result. Make sure to clear your head for the next one. Wow. It says that was the last race of the season. That's definitely not the case. That's some kind of a glitch. But yeah, when you don't perform, you can see visibly that the team are not happy. Overall, the whole team is disappointed with how this weekend has gone. Qualifying was quite frankly a bit of a mess. But we now know the car is working okay, so we're optimistic about making good progress in the race. Unfortunately, that didn't happen either. Let's take some extra time at the next race to work on a setup you're more confident with. We need to see improvements in both single lap pace and in the long runs, Carl. So, there you go. If you don't perform, you certainly know about it. So, yeah, both motivational in a way, and also gives you that kick up the backside when you don't perform all too well. But that's really interesting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, leave a like if you did. 5,000 likes, I'll do a giveaway for F1 2018. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel to keep up to date with all of the F1 2018 videos. I'm going to be doing career mode, going to be doing online videos, other just random gameplay videos like classic cars. We're going to be doing long races online and just lots of different things. So make sure you're up to date with all of my social media to keep up with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. F1 2018, it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to get started. Until the next one, guys, I'll see you next time.